This is a demonstration to show you how to create a table of contents with page numbers. Now there's two ways that you can create a table of contents with page numbers. One is the long, awkward, frustrating way, and the other is the fast and easy way. So let's start with the long, awkward, frustrating way. And this is the way that I see many people create tables of contents. So if you look on the screen, you'll see I've already started a table of contents in my Microsoft Word program. And in fact, I have the first thing in my table of contents, which is the introduction. Now, typically what I would do in the long, awkward, frustrating way is I would, after the word introduction, I would start typing periods, or maybe I would hold the period key down to make a line of dots all the way over to where I want my page number. And then when I think I'm all the way over to the right edge, I'll type the number of the page, which in this case is 4. And then I press the return key and I type the next thing in my table of contents, which is chapter 1. I hold down the period key until I think I'm over to the end. And then, oops, that's too far, so let me back up. And then I type my page number, which is 25. But let's say, oh wait, this isn't chapter 1, this is actually chapter 12. So I'm going to change that to chapter 12, but whoops, now that makes it too long, so I have to get rid of some periods. Oh, now my page numbers don't really line up, so let me put a period back in and try to scooch it over. So that's why this is the long, awkward, and frustrating way. You have to do a lot of fiddling around to try to get the page numbers to line up. And every time you make an edit to either one of the titles of your items in your table of contents or to the page numbers, you need to continue to fiddle around with it in order to get it lined up. That's why it's the long, awkward, and frustrating way. Now let's learn the fast and easy way. So I'm going to get rid of what we've put in here. All right, the fast and easy way, we're going to set a tab in order to control our page numbers and the dots that lead up to the page numbers. So first thing I'm going to do is just highlight the word introduction because it's already there and I want the computer to know that that's going to be the first thing that we're going to be formatting. And then if you look in the upper left corner, you'll see there is a square with a little L-shaped looking thing in it, and that's actually your tab selector. Now you can also select your tabs through the menus, but I find this is just a much easier and faster way to do it once you get the hang of it. So the way that you select what kind of tab you want is you click on this. So right now this is a left aligned tab. You can tell it's left aligned because the corner where those two lines meet are on the left side. If I click this, you'll see now it shows me that it's a tab that's going to be aligned on the center. If I click it again, it's a tab that's going to be aligned on the right side because you'll see where the lines come together are on the right side. If I click it again, it's a center tab that's going to be centered on the decimal point. So obviously this is just for numbers. And if you keep clicking, there's a few different kinds of tabs. What we're going to use is a right tab. So you click on it until the right tab shows, and that right tab, we're going to set that on the right side of the page, and that's where our page numbers are going to line up. And because we're setting a tab, we know that no matter how long or short the numbers are, they are 100% guaranteed to line up on that tab. So the way you set a tab is first you select it over here, and then you move to the ruler and you just click wherever you want the tab. So I'm going to click right there, almost to the edge of my right margin. So now all I need to do is go to the introduction and do my page numbers. But first I need to set the leader for this tab. And I set the leader by just double clicking on this little tab mark. And it opens up a window and you'll see there's 3 things I can change about the tab. I can change where it's located if I want to be more precise. If I want this at exactly 5 inches or exactly 6.5 inches, I can change that. I can also change the type of tab alignment that I have. Right now it's right aligned, but I can make it a left or a center, etc., etc. But what we want is this third section, which is where we set the leader. And again, the leader are the symbols that show up between when you press the tab and when the computer gets to the tab stop. So you'll see right now none is selected. We also have the option of little dots, the option of dashes, or the option of an underline. We're going to go ahead and pick the little dots, so just click on that and then say OK. So now we're at where our cursor is right after the introduction, and when we press the tab key, you'll see it zooms all the way over to our right tab. So if you follow it all the way up, you'll see my cursor is exactly lined up with my right tab, and it fills all that space automatically with the dots. So the good news is when we press the return key, two things happen. One, we get the little dots, and two, we're perfectly positioned to type our page numbers. So I'm going to go ahead and type page 4 here. Now I'm going to go down and do chapter 1 and press the tab key, and again it automatically fills in all those little dots and is just waiting for the page number. This time I'm going to type in the page number 25, and you'll notice what happens is because this is a 2-digit number, it automatically shortened up the dots. It shortened up the leader so that it's still perfectly and precisely formatted against that right tab. So if I go down again and do another one, chapter 2, press the tab key, this one's on page 197. Again, you'll see that the leader adjusts so that the page numbers are perfectly aligned. Now if I say, oh my gosh, I made a mistake, instead of chapter 1, I want this to be called the Amazing Chapter 1, you'll see as I add text, the leader automatically adjusts. So the reason that this is the fast and easy way is because no matter what edits you make to your items in your table of contents, no matter how long or short your page numbers are, you are guaranteed to have it exactly formatted the way that you want.